Juliana Peña versus Triple H is the co-main event of UFC 316. And I got to be honest with you guys. These ladies have actually got me hyped for a women's fight that doesn't have Zhang Weili in it. I can't believe I'm saying this, but these women have been carrying the build to UFC 316. They both have been talking trash, mainly Peña, but Harrison's been talking shit too. And they're doing a better job at promoting this card than the UFC are, than Sean O'Malley is, than Marab is, than Mario Batista is. We can read this quote, right? This was a couple of months ago. This was about last month, 2 months ago. Kayla Harrison is being accused of taking steroids by Peña. So Peña says, I cannot confirm 110% whether she is or is not on PEDs. But I will say that back then in the Olympics, she looked like a girl, very feminine. Now she looks super juicy and cut up. What she is trying to say is Kayla Harrison looks like Triple H. Now, she's straight up just accusing Kayla Harrison of taking steroids. And she's actually done this on multiple interviews. I think on, was it Ariel Helwani's interview or his show, whatever the case may be. She might have said the same thing, and she's just straight up just accusing Kayla Harrison of taking roids. And I think they're both, let's be honest, they're both on steroids. Like, look at Juliana Peña's head. Look at the size of her fucking cranium, bro. That's abnormal for a human being to have a head that big. Like an alien head, bro. Peña, even Harrison has a normal sized head. She just has jacked arms. But freaking Peña's head is huge. So, I don't know. They're probably both on steroids, to be honest with you. But still, this is hype. This is fun. This is beef. Then you got this moment from an interview where Peña says that Kayla is not Ronda Rousey. We can react to this right now.
She's going to take her out in the first 20 seconds. You ain't Ronda Rousey. Guarantee you're not going to take me out in 20 seconds.
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, I'm not Ronda because Ronda couldn't win an Olympic gold medal. And second of all, you are a great fighter.
She beat you. She beat you, didn't she? Ronda beat you.
It doesn't hold a candle to my career, and it doesn't matter because it's not about that.
She beat you, and wasn't it your manager that was literally saying that you're going to surpass all of Ronda's accomplishments?
Oh, wow.
You haven't been able to do that yet.
So they're going back and forth, I would make you guys watch the whole interview with me here, but watching women argue is a bit insufferable. So, I was just going to play that moment because that was kind of the main moment that I wanted to discuss. And, the whole thing about Ronda beating Harrison, I'm pretty sure they had fought in, I guess, the Olympics or some sort of judo tournament. I think, I read somewhere that Ronda was much older than Harrison. I read that Kayla Harrison was I don't know. I read somewhere that she was 15 or something and Ronda was 19. That's what I read. But I'm not sure. But nonetheless, I guess Ronda did beat Kayla Harrison 20 years ago. Yeah, honestly, again, I like this. This is good beef. I don't think Kayla Harrison is really used to this too. And so this is going to be interesting. But I want to actually give my full fight prediction. So I wanted to discuss that at the beginning because it kind of is important because I am interested. How is Kayla Harrison going to handle somebody who's kind of getting in her head a little bit, talking trash? Peña does a good job at that, right? At the end of the day, she is just selling the fight. But, she is attempting to get in her opponent's head. And this is not an Amanda Nunes who doesn't know English, even though she's lived in America for 30 years. But she doesn't know English. Harrison does know English, and she can understand what Peña is saying to her. So, as for my prediction for this fight, it's very tricky because Kayla Harrison is a really great grappler. She's an elite women's grappler. She's very strong, extremely strong for women's MMA in general. But Juliana Peña is a pretty good grappler herself, right? She submitted Amanda Nunes, and she had a close submission against Raquel Pennington is her name. What's the kid's name? Raquel Pennington, yeah. That awful fight, right? That fight wasn't awful, but it was kind of fun. And this is why I think this fight will actually be fun, and I'm excited for it. Not just because of the build-up, but because I think stylistically it will be a fun back-and-forth fight. But Peña has grappling. So I don't know. She might be able to nullify Harrison's grappling. So if it gets to the ground, I could see Peña either throwing up. What the fuck was that? Throwing up subs, or maybe just getting up. But it is women's MMA. You guys have to understand this, right? Because like on paper, yeah, Juliana Peña, she has a good grappling background and whatever the case may be, but it's women's MMA. They make dumb decisions. They fall over their own feet. It's going to be goofy. It's going to be sloppy. It's still going to be a fun fight. It'll be like two female Drickuses going at it, right? Not in going at it like going at it way, but going at it like in a fighting way. But still, I don't know. Because on the feet, is Peña way better than Harrison on the feet? I'm not sure. I think Harrison also has a better clinch game. Very good clinch game. I think she will be stronger than Peña. The thing that worries me about the weight cut, I think she will make weight, but championship weight, right? She's made weight before, but she's looked like a zombie on the scales, and that wasn't championship weight. She has to cut that extra pound now? She has to cut an extra pound. A full pound is a lot when you cut as much weight as she does. So I don't know. I do worry about that. She's going to be drained. But I think on the feet, it will be relatively equal. I don't think Peña is some marauder on the feet at all. She does have power for a women's fighter. You could see here the stats. She has a 23% KO ratio, whereas /TKO ratio, whereas Harrison has a 33% KO ratio, right? Submission-wise, she has a much higher submission rate, and she also has a much higher decision rate. Not a much higher, but like 3% higher, right? Her average fight time is a little bit more, so it's interesting. Let's look at significant strikes. 3.25 landed per minute, 4.87 landed per minute. That's, good for Harrison, I guess. Harrison, 64% more significant strikes. I have to use the stats here because it's a women's fight. So the only way I'm going to accurately try to predict this is through stats. Usually I don't like to use stats. I like to just go off of my own sort of personal opinion. But for this fight, I got to use stats here. Defensively, she's pretty good as well, 64%. That is true. Peña does get hit a lot, actually. That's a good point. Peña does get hit a lot. She is very hittable. I don't think Harrison is some marauder on the feet, though. That's the thing. This is tricky, guys. Grappling. Let's look at grappling. This is the important part here. So, Harrison has a 2.75% takedown average. Peña has a 1.81%. So, Harrison definitely has that advantage, the takedown advantage. Or takedown average, I should say, not advantage. Well, same thing, right? But a 56% takedown accuracy for Peña. But Harrison has 100% takedown defense. This is why it's a close fight. Higher submission average. And then the odds, obviously. She's the underdog. I don't care about the odds. 18-1, 13-5. Tricky. She's going to have to make that one extra pound. She can't weigh in at 136. She has to weigh in at 135. Peña came in her last fight, 134.5. It's tricky. I think I'm going to say Kayla Harrison via a very, very close decision. A split decision. A typical Juliana Peña, classic Juliana Peña split decision. I'm going to say Kayla Harrison gets a split. On the feet, I don't think there's much danger. I think she has a bit of a disadvantage, but she's not going to keep it on the feet. She has really good strength for a women's fighter. Her clinch game is really good. Her top control is very good as well. I do think Peña has more of an advantage when she's on top, or, when obviously she's good at getting the rear naked choke, getting the back, but I think Harrison's going to be a little bit too strong for her, and I think on the feet, Harrison can just edge it. She can just clinch a little bit more. I could see it being boring at times as well, though. I do worry about it, even though I think it will be a fun fight. I could also see a world where it is boring. I can see a world where Harrison just kind of lays on Peña for some rounds or some portions of the fight. I worry about that aspect of it, but I do think it will be good. I do think it will be fun. Someone's going to get dropped really goofy, is that a word? I don't know. You know what I mean. Someone's going to get dropped very Dricus Duplessis-like. But yeah, I just don't think Peña has a super big advantage on the feet, you know? And on the ground, I don't think she has a grappling advantage to where she might have a jiu-jitsu advantage for sure. I trust Peña, I trust Harrison to be strong in certain positions and to not allow herself to get caught in certain shitty submissions. And she's better than Raquel Pennington by a lot. And by the way, I didn't mention this, but I thought Raquel Pennington beat Juliana Peña. I really do. I really thought Pennington won that fight. So, and I think Harrison is way better than Raquel Pennington in all aspects of her game. Honestly. I don't want to do the MMA math thing, but because I know styles make fights. Because you could argue, well, you know, Harrison, she struggled with I think she fought Ketlin Vieira last or something, but nonetheless, I think Kayla Harrison's going to win. You know, she's going to get in the clinch. She's going to use her clinch work. She's going to get the takedowns when she wants it, I think. And Peña will have success. Don't get me wrong. She's going to have success. She might drop Harrison at one point. That's why I think it's going to be a split decision, a very close decision. But look, honestly, who's a bigger star? Probably Peña at this point. I don't know, who would the UFC prefer to, the decision always goes to the star, guys. So if it's going to be a split, who are they going to give it to? Peña is a bigger star than Harrison, but Harrison is a bigger investment for the UFC, right? You got to think they're paying her decent. They're bringing her in. This is only her third fight in the UFC, and she's getting a title shot. And the winner of this is going to face Amanda Nunes. So what's a bigger fight? Peña versus Nunes 3? Yeesh, right? Or fucking Harrison versus Nunes, right? Which is a bit of a women's dream fight. Even though I think Nunes is shit. But nonetheless, Harrison is kind of shit too. But I like Kayla Harrison. So that's my predictions. I think Kayla Harrison is going to win a split decision. Again, I think Peña is better on the feet. But better on the feet is just throwing punches with her chin up. Harrison is good defensively. I don't think she's going to make a lot of stupid mistakes. She's very strong on the ground and in the clinch. And I don't think I just think she's going to edge this one out. She looks like Edge too, the wrestler. More like Triple H. A little bit like Brock as well. But nonetheless, I got Kayla Harrison winning this. I am hopeful that she wins as well. I want her to win. I know Peña is more exciting, but I don't know. Stylistically, Kayla Harrison is better, in my opinion. She brutalized Holly Holm. I thought that was a great fight just because she brutalized her. It wasn't really back and forth. It wasn't like a war, but she destroyed Holly Holm. I think she's going to win this one. I think she's much stronger than Peña, man. I do. And she's good defensively. So, I think she's decent on the feet. She seems to be improving on the feet. I didn't love her last fight against Ketlin Vieira, but it is what it is. I didn't love Peña's last fight against Pennington because I thought she lost. So, it's women's MMA. It's hard to predict, but I'm going to settle on Kayla Harrison winning this. If I'm wrong, you can't blame me. Again, it's women's MMA. So that it is what it is. Make sure you guys like and sub. Become a member in the description. Who do you guys got? Do you guys got Peña? Do you guys got Harrison? Are you guys excited for this fight? I'm pretty excited for this fight. I'm not going to lie. I'm pretty excited for this fight. The promotion of this fight, the beef, the back and forth, it's kind of carrying the fucking card. So that's it. See you guys. Peace.